What is up, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to build a static website using Amazon S3, Route 53, W3 Schools, and GoDaddy. So let's get started. First we want to go into Google. Now we want to go into the Amazon console. AWS Management Console. If you haven't already, you might want to create an account. I'll just sign in here. Awesome. So you just want to enter in your email. Password. Cool, so we want to go into services, and we're going to be using S3, which is basically Amazon storage. And in here we can have unlimited storage, we can create static websites. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So we want to create a bucket and enter a DNS name. Now this name, that you really want it to be the same as your domain name. So first, it might be best just to look for a domain to see if it's available, and then we can call the bucket that same name. For a domain name, I'm going to use GoDaddy, and you can get domains for really cheap. If you guys don't want to purchase a domain, then you can do this without this step. It will just it'll still work. You just won't have a fancy name up here. So first we'll have to search for a domain that is available. So I might just try and search for Nebula IT. Cool, and this one's available here, so I'll add it to cart. Continue to cart. And I'm not going to worry about any of this stuff for now because we're going to be building our own website. We just want the domain name. Awesome. Now we've got that. We want to change this to 1 year. And pretty cheap for a whole year. So now we're going to have to create an account. If you've already got one, you can just go ahead and sign in. Awesome, now we just have to fill out all this information here. Now we just have to enter our card number. And complete purchase. Awesome, and as you can see, pretty cheap. Now we have our domain name, which we will call our bucket. www.nebulat.com. And for the region, I'm just going to use the default North Virginia. Click next. I'll just give this a tag so I know what it is. Just call it website. Awesome, I'll leave all that as default, and I'll just take these bucket policies off because we're going to use a bucket policy. So to make our website publicly accessible, create bucket, and here's our bucket. So now we need to upload files to this bucket, and we're just going to use a index.html file, and we can go onto W3 Schools where they have lots of great templates for websites. And also this is a great place to learn about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, all the stuff for website development. So we're just going to go down here, grab one of these templates. You can pick any one you like, it doesn't really matter. For this one, I'm just going to use this one. So I'll click Demo. This is what the website looks like. Looks pretty good. So try yourself. And we can go ahead and just take this HTML code here. Control A to copy all. Control C. Now I'm just going to go onto Notepad. You can use any text editor you like. I quite like Notepad++. So I'll just paste this in here. File, save as. I'm just going to call it index.html, save to desktop. Already exists, that's fine. Save. Awesome. Here's our index.html file, and we can preview that right away. As you can see, the images haven't come up because it cannot find them in the folders. So we'll just go onto desktop, create new folder, and call it website. I'll put my index.html file in here, and then I'll just create a new folder called images. Now we can go into Google. I'm just going to look up desktop background. You can use any image you like. I'm just going to use the first one that comes up here. So, open image in a new tab. Awesome. Save image as. And I can save it straight into my image folder. And it's probably best just to give it an easier name here. So I'm just going to get rid of this and call it background. Save. Awesome. Now if we go right click on our index.html and edit, or edit with Notepad++, you can edit with Notepad or whatever text editor you like. We'll go down, and what we're looking for here is image. So here we have an image here, and the header, which is probably the top of the page. And we just need to change this to our file name. So for our one, we have images, which is the folder / background.jpg. Control S to save. Now if we go in here, here's our photo. You can go through and change all the photos and change the design of this website using W3 Schools or whatever you like. For now, I'm just going to stick with this one. Awesome. So now if we go back into our S3, we can upload objects. So we're going to add files here. Just going to upload my index.html file. Click next. Awesome, it all seems alright. So I'm just going to upload it straight away. Cool. Now actually we want to create a folder that is called images, because this is where we want to save our images to, just like how we have it here. And we want to put our image into this folder. So we'll add it here, upload. Awesome, there we go. If we go up here, we can go back in there and see what we've got. At the moment, this here isn't going to work because it's not publicly accessible. I'll just close some tabs. Awesome, so we need to make this public, and the easiest way to do this is to go ahead and just get a bucket policy. So we just want to open up a new tab and then type in AWS bucket policy static website. Example, setting up a static website, AWS documentation. So we'll just go down, and this is the bucket policy we want. Basically, it's just allowing public read access. So we'll go ahead and just Control-C, copy all this. Back to our management console. We'll just go into permissions, bucket policy, and we'll just paste that in here. Now we want to change this to our domain name. So www.nebulaIT.com. We want to save this. Now we're getting this error message that it has public access. That's alright though, because it's only read access and it's only a static website. So now we can go to properties and we want to enable static website hosting. Use this bucket to host a website. And our name is index.html. So we'll save that. Awesome. Now if we click on this, go over to our URL, there's our website. Pretty cool. And this is basically going to be free as well, other than paying the $1 to $2 for the domain name. So it's a very cheap way to make a website, especially if you're blogging or just doing small things. If you want to make databases and have a more complex website, then I'll show you how to do it in a future tutorial using EC2. Awesome. Now we still have this domain name here, which it says s3amazonaws.com, but this is the actual domain name that we want if you purchased the domain earlier. Otherwise, don't worry about this section of the tutorial. So we're just going to go back to our AWS management console, and then we're going to go to services. So now we're going to go down to Route 53, which is under the networking and content delivery section. If you're wondering what Route 53 is, basically it's a highly scalable and reliable DNS system. So we're just going to get started with our DNS management and create a hosted zone. Create, this is where we put our domain name, so nebulaIT.com. Hit create. Now this is the value that we're going to need, the .com. Just make sure you don't put the dot at the end. Control copy, and we'll go back to GoDaddy, into our account, manage domains, nebulaIT.com. Now we want to go down and manage our DNS. Here we have our name servers, so we want to change this. And you also want the .org as well, so we'll go ahead and copy that. Save. Awesome, that looks like we're all ready to go. So we'll go back here, and we need to create a record set because we only have nebulaIT.com. We need dot. And we want to create an alias so that we can link it to our website, our bucket. Hit create. And that looks like we're all ready to go. We'll just type in the domain here, so www.nebulaIT.com. And there's our website. And it might take a while to actually show up, guys, especially if you've just created your GoDaddy account. I've had to pause the video and I've come back in about 5 minutes, and here it is. So yeah, thank you, and stay tuned for more tutorials.